What's just happened there out in Germany? It's ended by Leverkusen 2, Newcastle United 2, and I've got to say, we can feel very, very hard done by there. Yes, we went 1-0 down in the game by an own goal from Bruno Guimaraes, but Bruno didn't know anything about it, to be honest. That goal, of course, was scored by Andrik, of course, which the header went off the back of Bruno, so he didn't really know anything about it. And from there on in, however, Newcastle just absolutely dominated the game. The referee, for me, was an absolute disgusting display once again. We've seen another poor referee this season, and that guy was exactly like the rest, just making very bad, soft calls. But that didn't stop things. We tried our best, we pushed on as hard as we could in the game, and we got ourselves a chance, of course, of a penalty, and we got the penalty. We got, of course, the goal from Anthony Gordon, stepping up from the penalty as well. Brilliant penalty by Gordon once again, making now Gordon 5 goals in 6 appearances in the Champions League now. And then, of course, we got the magic of Lewis Mailey coming on off the bench for Joelinton, who didn't look happy, to be honest, having to go off, but I can see why Eddie did what he did. We need Joelinton for that game, of course, against the Mackhams and the other games coming up, and purely down to the fact that, you want that powerhouse of Joelinton in there when we do play the Mackhams coming up, of course, on the 14th. But I mean, Lewis Mailey scoring in the Champions League, 19-year-old local Geordie lad, born in Stanley, banging in a goal in the Champions League. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that when you talk about, dream moments in football. And he did become, I do believe, the youngest goal scorer in the Champions League for as well. Correct us if I am wrong on that one down in the comments below, but I do believe he did become the youngest goal scorer for Newcastle United in the Champions League tonight. So that is a massive record for Lewis Mailey to have, of course, and to remember as well, scoring his first ever goal in the Champions League as well for Newcastle United. What a night for Lewis Mailey. Unfortunately, shame it didn't end in a more positive manner, as, of course, the 88th minute of the game seen Alejandro Grimaldi stepping up and scoring an equaliser, which secured a 2-2 draw for Bayer Leverkusen. A draw that Bayer Leverkusen did not deserve, in my opinion. They did not. And I've got to say, I am a little disappointed with Eddie Howe. Because when we went 2-1 up in the game, we got ourselves back into it. We were ahead in the game. Eddie Howe just needed to make them substitutions, and he didn't do it. He waited too long. He ended up making reactionary substitutions instead. Seeing we'll get Wissa coming off the bench way too late, way too late in the game. He should have been coming on at least around the 65th minute of the game for me. But he comes on around the back end of the game with about, I think, 3 minutes left of 4-minute added injury time. And then, we're seeing Jacob Ramsey also coming on around that same time as well. Way too late in the game. Bayer Leverkusen already getting themselves back in at that point and equalising it up. So if Eddie had just made them subs a bit faster, I think we would have come away from this game tonight in Germany with, of course, the result in the bag and the win in the bag. But I mean, looking at the league table for the Champions League, we are currently, as it stands, 12th in the Champions League with 6 games played. We've got 2 games left to play. One of them is against PSV Eindhoven. The other is against, of course, PSG. And if we can win the game against PSV Eindhoven, which I think we'll have every chance of doing, they haven't been doing well themselves in the Champions League. They're down at 21st in the league for the Champions League phase. But looking at it, if we win that one, we'll get 13 points. And that can see us go up into, you know, the top 5, top 4, as high as about top 3, or depending on the results, of course, when we have to come play into that game. But tonight, out in Germany, it's ended Bayer Leverkusen 2, Newcastle United 2. Let us know your goal scorers. You know, who was your favourite goal in the game? What was your favourite moment in the game? And of course, who was your man of the match for the game? And do you agree with us? Did Eddie Howe wait too long for the substitutions? Let us know down in the comments below. And I'll see you all for the next one, which will be, of course, the preview heading into the game against the Mackhams. However, lads.